She's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 love.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. And did y'all hear? Usher is getting a divorce from his wife. Stevie J ass gonna go to jail for goddamn on child support. It's just too much on my spirit. Jesus, fix it. Look, Usher out here burning people and Stevie J out here not paying no goddamn on bills. What is up with these men in these dang on music industries just doing too much, not doing enough, Lord Jesus. Now, this is gonna be a quick little, you know, since tea sipping moment or whatever. Usher has been married to his wife for 2 years. Her name is Grace. Now they had been together since like 2009, and you know they got married. They don't have any kids. They got married in 2015, but they announced today that they are getting a divorce. And can't nobody tell me that Usher having herpes and it being known that Usher having herpes, it ain't the reason they not gonna be together no more. My thing is, it's one thing to be married to a man and no one knows what's going on with his goddamn on dick. It's a whole separate situation when the whole world know your man was out here giving out herpes. And my thing is, I wonder if she knew he was out here spreading it wide and just sowing his oats and spreading herpes to people or whatever. Because if you recall, Usher never came out and said that he did not have herpes. That ain't what he said. Well, he never said much besides, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't say much at all. Okay? I think he did say that he was never with that girl who said she didn't even get herpes, but they had sex. The plus size girl. You know what I'm saying? And me being a plus size person, I don't care if he was with her or not. We can't act like a cute guy don't like big girls, because every guy I done dated was sexy. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody had a type, but we have to be truth to know some guys be undercover big girl lovers, and even guys who give herpes, you know what I'm saying, can be undercover big girl lovers, and I feel like that could have been his thing. But we ain't here to talk about that. Well, technically we are, but I don't think I wasn't really shocked, because I'm like, your husband is being sued for spreading a disease. Like, I think if nothing else changes the marriage, it'll be spreading herpes around the bitches all over the world. It is really would be. And you know, this is his second marriage, and the killing part is supposedly, allegedly, his current wife. They say that he was cheating on his first wife, Tamika, with the second wife. You know, all up in the mix of that, whatever. So it's just, I'm like, Usher, cause like who gonna date Usher now? And my cousin Ashley, hey Ashley, said, wait, Ashley Trevor, I got like 4 cousins named Ashley. Ashley on my least side of the family. She was like, yeah, Usher and Chili can get back together. I said, Chili don't want that dirty dick. Don't nobody want dirty dick Usher now. My thing is, I really believe, even though he gonna continue to have fans, he gonna continue to have people who love him, because by all means, he's a great artist. He really, really is. But who want to date Usher now? Because if you date Usher, you dating, you know, he got herpes. I mean, can he only date women now who have herpes? And I don't know nothing about diseases because I don't have any. Okay, I've never had a disease, thank God. And I'm not gonna say I don't know nothing about diseases. What I'm saying is, I'm not hip to the rules and the regulations of how herpes works. Someone said, we know with herpes, it comes and goes. You can have flare-ups or whatever. And my thing is, I don't want to take a chance with a person who got herpes on their dick. I just don't. I don't want to take that chance, because my thing is, how do I know you not about to flare up and then I catch it? And who want to be married to a man if you got to use condoms? Who want to be married and have to have condom sex? Marriage is for raw, unprotected sex. When you just whenever, you know what I'm saying? You can't have I don't think you can have unprotected sex with a person with herpes. At least I wouldn't, even if they don't have that. Someone told me a flare up at the point in time. I still don't want to have unprotected sex with you. I just don't. Because I would be too nervous that I'm gonna catch herpes. So I feel like he had this whole herpes situation. His wife stayed quiet while they kind of handled it and got it, died down. Because if you recall, when it was all going down and it was all these stories or whatever, his wife never really said much. She stayed quiet. We honestly did not see them out a lot. We would see him out, not much really her anymore. We would see them together here and there. But I'm like, they can divorce because that man was spreading herpes. Let's just be honest and call a spade a spade. They did release a joint statement to U.S. Weekly, and they said, after much thought and consideration, we have mutually decided to separate as a couple. We remain deeply connected, lies, loving friends who will continue supporting each other through the next phases of our lives. The enormous amount of love and respect that we have for each other will only increase as we move forward. Look, I don't know how much of a friend I want to be to my ex-husband who got herpes and was fucking bitches and giving them herpes too. It just would not work out. I would be completely over it. I think Usher needs to lay low. He already got 2 beautiful kids. He got a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old from his first marriage with Tamika, and he needs to just chill out. Because my thing is, who wants to have sex with the person who possibly has herpes and they possibly have herpes? I would not. That's just, and I could be completely idiotic and ignorant to the fact of, a person can have herpes and they can still have unprotected sex. Bullshit. Not in my house, not in my coochie, not in my goddamn vagina. No, if you have herpes, we cannot have unprotected sex. And I would not want to marry a man who I have to continually protect myself because he has a disease that could possibly spread to me. And I know people say, well, you can be married to somebody that can still be cheating. He could be cheating. But my thing is, I don't know he has herpes. I don't consciously know that. But my thing is, what if I consciously know he has herpes? We have unprotected sex for 3 years and I catch it and then I want a divorce because we get divorced. Now the next man ain't gonna worry me is it fair that women might still want to sleep with him because he has herpes, but if a female had herpes, she'll be dirty? Ugh, she got herpes. Well, she caught it from him. You know what I'm saying? So whoever, and my thing is, does Grace have herpes? Like, what if she had herpes? And look, I just can't take it. But yeah, they're getting divorced. They announced it today. They were only married for 2 years. No children together. She is, Grace is 48 and Usher is only 39. So they're both still young enough to move forward. But the question remains, if she dates someone else, are they going to wonder, did Usher have herpes? And you're going to have that conversation. And that's going to be a thing of, like, I need to have a blood test before we have sex because I don't want to catch herpes. And even with Usher, who going to see with Usher now without a goddamn STD test? I said the cat. Anyway, other than that, Stevie J from Love and Hip Hop. We know he got a plethora of kids with a plethora of women. He has a ton of kids and he can't even afford to pay for them. He is going to have to turn himself in to the federal people by April 10th for failure to pay child support. This man, Stevie J, now he has 6 children, okay? 6. It is, I'm going to read this off to you, okay? It's Dorian Jr. It's Dorian, his son who's 25, his daughter Sade, who's also 25. When you have 2 kids who the same age and they're by 2 different women, you was thinking that dick around. Then he has son Stephen Jordan, who was 21, daughter Savannah Jordan, who's 20, Eva Giselle with Mimi, and then of course Bonnie Bella with Jocelyn. And them a lot of kids, okay? And that range from ages 25 to 1 years old. That's just a lot. He owed $1.3 million back in February of 2017, but right after Bonnie Bella was born, because Bonnie Bella was born in December of 2016. So when he went to court in February 2017, he owed approximately how much was it? Did I write down the whole amount? $1,304,835.86. Let me repeat that number for you. $1,304,835.85. That's a lot of goddamn money. And that amount was basically for 5 of the kids. That amount really didn't even cover Bonnie Bella, the new baby. So he was put on probation then in February 2017, and he was given approximately 3 years probation to give him time to pay the child support. If you pay it off sooner, you'll be off probation, which is always how it is. If you owe something, they'll put you on probation for so long till you trying to pay it off. But if you pay it off sooner, you're off probation. Well, guess what he didn't do? He ain't paid the shit off. And guess what else happened? Since he had a new baby, his child support has went up. So the U.S. attorney in Southern District of New York said that he has to again turn himself in by April 10th for child support. And then the crazy part about it is because the amount he owes, which probably now is probably at like 1.4, yeah, probably 1.4 million, and it's so high, and because he owes child support for multiple women who live in multiple states, it ain't even a state issue. You know how you owe child support, the state you in could lock you up or could, you know what I'm saying, try to garnish you. No, this man has so many females in different states, and the amount is so high, it's a goddamn federal issue. Yes, he is going to have to go to he might have to go to federal prison for owing back child support for his 6 children. I'm like, bitch, fed time, federal time. I'm like, that is crazy. And if you think about it, look, you know, and I think it's a good thing and a bad thing, because I believe, at least with them older kids, Stevie J was probably put on child support when he was making big money, or at least bigger money than he's making now, when he was a producer with Puffy and them. Remember, back in the day, he was hanging out, you know, he used to date Eve. He was a major producer back in the day. He was like instrumental in that whole bad boy era, that whole Rough Rider era. He was, you know, like a Swiss Beats back then. But as time progressed, he wasn't in the interview, like he wasn't in the industry like that anymore. So he probably was put on child support to pay $100,000 a year, or this high ass amount. And when he was no longer making that money, at times your child support doesn't change because you don't make that money anymore. And some men are just too stupid to go and say, hey, this is not my paycheck. I'm not making $1 million a year anymore, so I can't afford to pay this high amount. That is how a person get in rearage. It's because it can be of one or two reasons. Either they just say fuck it and stop paying because they don't care, or their income can change and they can afford it and they stop paying. As far as I know, he was no longer making that big money, and he could not afford to pay them as much as he was supposed to pay them, and he ended up stop paying. I would have been went and said, look, I ain't making no goddamn money, and I need the amounts to be lowered. But no, he didn't do that. So, and I think some of the amounts were lower, but he just wasn't paying. Let's call it spade a spade. He wasn't paying whatever the amounts were, because to get up to 1.3 million, and you think about it, only Eva and Bonnie Bella are young. They 9 and 1. All his other kids are in their 20s. So he ain't been paying child support for a long time for all them goddamn kids. But as much as him and Jocelyn be taking trips and walking around as if they big money bank, how you don't have the 1.3 million? You've been on Love and Hip Hop for at least, for all the seasons. You was on Love and Hip Hop. You've been doing the little tour stuff. You had your own show on there. All the money you got, you should have just said fuck it and paid that off to prevent yourself from being in this predicament. But what happens is people think, oh, I'm going to say I can't afford it, and I'm going to piece them off and pay little bit by little bit by little bit. But when you did that, you were still dumb, because you was already in arrears and then had another baby. You couldn't afford the fact you had. Because my thing is, in 1,304,835.86, you know, bruh, you just dumb. So, I mean, do I think he should go to jail? Yes. But is it going to help the situation, him going to jail? No. Why? He can't make no money in jail. I think that's the only issue I have with people who don't pay child support and their consequences. Sending them to jail does not help them pay anything. If anything, it's going to stop them from being able to pay it. I think there should be some other kind of consequence of them not paying child support. You should absolutely garnish his checks with VH1. He's on a fucking TV show. Y'all know he working, and he make sure he paying something. Like, garnish his damn check. It's that simple. Don't make him go to jail. Make him do community service for however long you gonna put him in jail. If he gonna get 24 months in prison, he need to be on 24 months community service, and he need to be community service helping underage youth not get or just something, not get pregnant, to build a, I don't know, but it need to be something to help the community, to help other children. But putting men in jail who don't pay child support don't help the baby mama. It don't help whoever, because no one gets paid at that point. At that point, the prison's making money off another damn prisoner. So was he done for getting his bill up this high? He absolutely was. But I don't think prison is the answer to the situation. I mean, you know, if you don't pay child support, it's a possibility, especially because when he went to court in February, they told him, you know, they was gonna give him just 6 months in jail. You got off lucky that time when they gave you no jail time. They gave you 3 years to pay it off, and they said the reason it's going back to the courts because he hasn't paid nothing to child support. So in the year you've had to pay off some of it, you ain't paid shit. You can't say you didn't make no money within the past year. You made at least, I'm going to say, $100 grand, because you did that at least with working with VH1. You made that at least with doing little club appearances and pop-ups and this and this and this. You made a little bit of money. You might not have made 1.3 million, but you made at least $100 grand. If you didn't, you stupid. If you didn't, you stupid. And I'm just like, you know, you shouldn't have had another baby. You should not have. I think at this point, tie your goddamn gonna cut your tubes off. Okay, cut your tubes off, Lord Jesus. Get yourself snipped. You know, get it handled. When you go to court, you need to make sure that you have a check for like $500,000 and say, look, I was saving this for a rainy day, and it's raining today, and I want to pay this to avoid jail time. And can I still take, you know, the next 2 years to pay off whatever's left? You know, put me on some kind of payment plan to where I can still afford. You need to, you know, downsize from that mansion you and Jocelyn was Airbnb, and, you know, that little condo that you want to get in. Get out of all that shit. Get you a little 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? In a nice little neighborhood somewhere in Atlanta. People say Atlanta, to live in Atlanta, it ain't that expensive if you do the right things. You can't be out here trying to be Big Boss Stevie, because you broke, bruh. You broke. Because if you're not broke, then you should be able to pay child support. So either way go, live within your means and pay your debt, or don't pay your debt and go to jail. So, you know, but that's all I have for you guys today. I had to speak on those 2 issues because I was like, Usher getting divorced and Stevie going to jail. What the hell is going on with people today? They just not doing what they're supposed to do. They are not handling their business. But I'm done. So have a wonderful day. I will talk to you guys later. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.